Hey everyone, good evening. This is Mentor Motarakene of the Ghana Guidance School. With me in today's meeting, which happens to be a business game presentation, are members of Circle 5, Group 3, Batch 7 of the 7th of December 2017 batch of the Ghana Guidance School. The business game is all about sending a team to a country to establish in that country and also to ensure that continues to exist in that country. So the members of Cycle 5 had met on several occasions to get a very good approach to tackling the business game task, which they have done. So Samuel is going to tell us how they came about their solution. So Samuel, the floor is open to you. You can go on with the presentation.
Thank you, Mentor, and good evening to everyone. This is Ghana Guided School business game presentation, and this is a group 3, Circle 5, 2018/7/7, and we have been given 7 tasks, and we are to go to Thailand to promote MMM. And the task 1 is all about the country and how we'll be able to send MMM to the country and promote it there. And we have been given some amount of 50,000 to go there, use, and then how we'll be able to use this amount to promote MMM. And therefore, upon careful thought and research about Thailand is though a very growing country with a population about 69 million over, and this is a very poor country, but the economy is not as strong, but a very good place for MMM to start up, because this is a growing economy. So MMM can start up from this particular country, and that is where our focus was. And we had to look at the solutions, how we'll be able to go and then look at the place and then start all over again. And so we were able to outline some of the events that we'll be able to do at the place. So we create social awareness, and then on the social media, that's the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all other social media channels, to create awareness in the country when we get there, and also create attractive banners with MMM logo and slogans that will capture the attention of readers and pedestrians. So these are, and many other strategies that we're putting in place, like printing of T-shirts with MMM logos, going to so many other places in the country, and then give some out donations and face caps and some food items to members in order to draw their attention on this particular program. And so when the main focus here is to create awareness, so these are the means that we'll be able to use to create awareness. We can also invite so many other people, prominent people, and also involve them in such meetings and promote MMM to them. And so this is how we'll be able to execute our plans. Now, we have to encourage all people around, and then explain to them how the system works, how to provide help. Most importantly, discuss with the security issues with regard to the safeguarding their account. So promoting the MMM, inviting the people, we meet them one-on-one, and then as we go on the streets and as we go on the social media, we explain the ideologies of MMM to the people and how they'll be able to benefit from MMM. And the main ideology of MMM, we spell it out to the people. And so these are the things that we're going to do to attract the people. And these are the budgets that we have laid out for within this particular states that I've mentioned. And so the first is to secure residence apartment and pay for security. So the money that we'll secure, we'll get for promoting MMM. That is the $50,000 that we have. These are how we've been able to distribute them. The first apartment, that is to pay for security, that is $5,000. Then look forward to get an interpreter to work with, and that one, because the Thailands or the Thailands, they don't their main language is the Thai. They don't understand the English, and we need to get people who can understand their language and then interpret our languages to them so that they can understand whatever we want to put across or say to them. So that is very important. And those people, we need to pay them, or we need to give them something to boost their morale. And so that is what we intend doing. And then we also, the team should locate TV and radio stations for advertisement and awareness about MMM ideology. That one, we have allocated $2,000. Printing and payment of posters, banners, face caps, and Joytime MMM t-shirts. We have also located $15,000 for that. Public awareness, that is, the team should create awareness by targeting a well-populated area of the country, and so and offer some charity gifts and stuff, and that is also going to take $5,000. The team manage response from citizens, target registration not more than 700 citizens with deposit of not more than $400, and we have allocated $2,000 for that. So set aside $3,000 for miscellaneous, any unforeseen circumstance. And so these are the disbursement that we'll be able to do on the part of the money that we get, and how we'll be able to promote the MMM in the country. And so when you get to the task 2, the task 2 seems to how the people will be able to respond, and then how they are able their monies, and how we will also be able to register and make them take part in the whole process. And so we're looking at how to register them, how to get them on board. And so if we have 10 guiders as a group, then we will share among ourselves as the guiders that each guider should be able to bring on board 30 members to register. And that if 10 guiders are able to bring 30 new participants, it means we are getting to 300 participants. And so, and if these 30 participants from each gather is able to contribute at least $300, then we'll be arriving at $3,000. And so these are, and then when you convert that to their currency, that is the time bait, that is 3191400. And so within 1 month, the first month, we'll be able to accrue 27,000, and total help, the provide help will get up to 117,000. And so since people are ready to register in the system, we have to commence the training of guiders. And so what we are talking about here is, if we see that people are getting much more interested, and we also want to expand the program to the people, then we need to also help train guiders so that they would also be much interested in and also promote them in their country. So that is what we intend doing in this task. And then when we get to task 3, it's about the calculations and how we'll be able to arrive at our targets set for us. And so let us say that 100 people people come in front, and 100 people participated at 300 each. This will amount to 30,000 in order for the 100 people that provide help to get or to gain their 30%. In fact, when we are promoting, we tell them that, or we would let them know the ideology, the benefits, or the bonuses that they will get, which is 30% of it. And so if the first 100 people, or the first people that we intend registering them into the platform, we should make sure they get their bonuses, and that will motivate them or encourage them to tell other people to also participate. And so these are the calculations that we have done with respect to the bonuses and stuff. And 100 participants will be, if, for instance, if 50 participants in regular getting help, and we providing help of 100 participants request for GH, or that is the get help, the calculation will be 50 participants times 300, which will be 15,000. And we want to encourage them with bonuses of 20%, $20, and that will amount to, that is the 50 participants that will be able to register for the first 100 that we get. That will amount to $1,000. And then the 30% of the 50 participants that provide help of $300 as the minimum, that is our initial target, will be 90 times 50. That will amount to 4,500. So these are all calculations that we have done. And so you could see that our money or our targets will keep on increasing if we are able to implement the first stage of our aim or goals that we intended to. Then that means that we'll be able to let more people participate, and the MMM or the target that we intended to achieve will keep on growing, or the money will keep on growing, and more people will stay join. When it comes to task 4 is about how after 2 months you have the number of participants and deposits that you have calculated. Now you can calculate what you need to organize within the next month. Yes, A week after the start of the month, there is the local holiday. And this is talking about any unforeseen circumstance, like a break comes into the system, or there is a break of 1 week and people do not provide help. How are we going to survive? How are we going to survive? And this is our solution for this particular task. When registering, activities fall drastically by 75, as the whole process is falling, we get into the pause mode and then waste time. This means all contribution in Thailand embedded into 2 segments before and after the pause announcement. We can stop the growth of the Mavlo depending when registration activities return to normal. We may extend the number of days left until default, so that even if you have provided help, your Mavlo will not turn green. Rather, they will be frozen and will turn blue. We will delay a bit the rate at which the provide help pledge gets matched with gets help. Also, we can increase campaign on weekly basis, advertising through persuading face-to-face and even on social media. Raise a massive promotion that will attract the individual and bring more people on board through, though we can share t-shirts and flyers. So these are some of the strategies that we can use to recover if any unforeseen circumstance happen. You can also start preaching to them Mavlo's aim of closing the gap between the rich and the poor and erase poverty from the world. So if we see that all our targets are going down, or we are not able to meet our target as we intended to, then we need to re-strategize, look back, and then see how best we can. And so these are some of the things that we intended to do if such thing happens. And so when we get to task 5, which also talk about when your plan did not work out, you do not have enough new registration and new deposits to cover the cost of the current deposits. If it is necessary to analyze the plan of action in this situation, what are the resources? How many participants, contribution, etc. needed to get this situation resolved? Due to lack of funds, there are delays in payment. The old participants seeing that neither make their own contribution nor attract new members. So this is talking about when all we are saying is not materialized, and people start withdrawing from the system. How are we going to survive? How are we going to do that? And this is our response. Since our plan did not work out, we also don't have enough, and we also don't have now enough new registrations and new deposit to cover the cost deposit. We must go back to the task plan, examine it critically, and then so what we are saying here is, we started the whole process. There was a lay down strategies, and we are following them, the lay down strategies one after the other. And if we get to a point we know all this is failing us, then there is something wrong. It should prompt us that something is going wrong. And so what we intended doing is to take our time, go back to the first task and analyze them well, come back to the next strategy, analyze them well. What actually went wrong? Did we meet our targets? So where did we fall short? To detect all these areas, we'll be able to move ahead. And then these are some of the things that will also be adding to it. The number of participants needed to continue the system, what other resources can be used to ensure smooth running. So that will be asking ourselves, and how we'll be able to. So if what new strategy can we add, or what resources do we need to add in order to maintain and keep growing this program? Then we'll have to go back to the fundamentals. As I said, we have to carry out the following activities in order to save MMM talent from a restart. We'll relocate. So that is the first thing that we would intend, because if where we are is not helping us, then we should be thinking of relocating to a different community or locality. And then the next to start the whole process again. Or the next thing is, we'll also make sure use of the social media. Then we should also intensify the use of the social media and then create more awareness. And then we'll also encourage old participants to continue providing help. If we are able to continue convincing the old people to provide help, and the guiders that we intended training to also provide help, it will help us maintain or help us prevent the restart of this whole community or the process. And then guiders are expected to send seminar information and decision to their downlines to claim their situation. So that is what we intend doing. And when we come to the task 6, since our management didn't work out as we planned and hoped for, and we do not have enough new registration and new deposit to cover the cost of the current deposit, we would apply a pause mode approach by going back to the task 1 and start the process over again. This will help us to identify our mistakes. So what we do is, how much contribution is needed? How many participants are needed to continue? What other resources and structures do we need to consider? So if we are able to answer all these questions, if we are able to detect and answer all these questions, it will make us move ahead. We propose to carry out the following activities in order to save MMM talent from a restart. And these are what we intended to reteach the MMM ideology to a wider audience to increase awareness, and then train more guiders. We want to recruit more members, increase contribution, etc., increase bonuses, and they use social media platforms. So if we've seen that all these things are not working, then there are areas that we need to touch. We need to train more guiders. If we are able to train more guiders and then increase bonus, if people see the bonuses that are being increased, then definitely they will wish to come and then continue the whole process again. And then the task 7, which is the final one, that is your efforts have been insufficient to reverse the situation. A restart took place. All the old marbles are removed. We start to work from the beginning. Serious negative impacts of the members and unfavorable responses. So what are we going to do? And this is our response. In a major situation where our proposed development of MMM talent after being established suddenly begins to experience delays in payment, increases to more than 7 days, old members not invited new members, and there is slowdown in contribution, this is what we'll do. The first thing we'll do is that my team would do, instead of a restart of the system, is to apply the pause mode to the system. During the pause mode, the marble which occurred in participant personal office before beginning of the mode stops in grow. As the pause mode stops, old marbles continue to grow again, and one can get help. While the pause mode is on, participants can change all old marbles, but at floating rates, that is 10% of what you gave rather than a normal 30% that is necessary to establish the system. So instead of giving out the 30% as you put in or as you offer help or provide help, Then we have to devise a strategy of reducing the percentage and then see how the growth will be. And so that is the first thing that we intended doing. And then while the pause mode is being applied, we will contact other guiders in other countries who must have experience in such situation or possible solution and how. So experience, as we say, experience is the best teacher. So if we see that the whole process is still not going on well, then we need to contact other countries and then also ask, inquire, or we call other managers also or leaders and then call them to inquire from them how are we will we be able to solve these problems. And I think when we bring them on board, they would also be of help and then help us to overcome this situation instead of the new restart. And then the new plan to restart, all the marbles shall be frozen before restart and shall provide payback of previous donations before the restart in marbles. Gradually, with the system development in the time process, create a minimum and maximum pH amount. We will start with pop-up notification on participant personal office that states participants only with your spare cash. So as our mentor rightly said, that in fact, when people invest or when people are providing help with their entire money or the money, all the monies that they have, that is where the worries start or the anxieties start setting in. And so, but if we are able to convince them that MMM is helping you to build on what you have, the little that you have, invest it, and then you improve on it. So if we are able to give out this education very, very well, I think we'll be able to make a headway. And so multiple accounts will be prohibited. So if you also see there are people who have been who also create more accounts or multiple accounts, then we should ask them to stop that because it's not a practice of MMM. And then each bank details can be used only once for only one account. And then the system now have only the two types of Marble. The normal 30% provide plus the previous old Marble that was frozen before the restart mode. So that is, and then the leader bonus now will have only 3 levels and there will be no payment after the 3rd level. So these are the strategies that we have tried putting in place. If all things work out for us, we'll be able to achieve our target. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good presentation, I must say. But you mentioned invest, the word invest. You corrected yourself the first time, but you still made reference to it. You still mentioned it rather. That means you see MMM as a business.
I
Okay,
corrected it.
let's use you corrected yourself the first time.
Yeah.
Subconsciously said it again because it's already part of you. So you just have to have a reorientation and read the ideology of MMM once again so that you don't get swayed with
The investing.
business or investment.
Yeah.
Okay, can you come mute your mic, please? While you were making your presentation, you forgot to name a very important part of the system, which is a SWOT analysis. Okay, it's not part of the system actually, but it's been carried out on the system and every other system that exists. If you carry out a SWOT analysis on yourself as an individual, maybe you an appraisal book or a questionnaire. You give it to people to list out your strengths that they've observed, your weaknesses, your good deeds, your high points, how the characters of people affects you. So that let's put that as a threat. If you carry that from time to time, you find out that you become a better person. It doesn't make you righteous, it makes you moral. Now, if you carry out a SWOT analysis on anything, maybe you're working in a company and your boss wants to see how well his company is doing, a SWOT analysis comes in handy. Hence, the need for SWOT analysis to be carried out on MMM. MMM because it has to do with interpersonal relationships. It has to do with funds transfer, and all this could really result in friction over time. So now, if the SWOT analysis have been carried out after, let's say, tax 2, the challenges faced tax 3 would have reduced. Then if it was carried out after tax 3, the challenge of the 75% drop, the challenge of the 75% drop in tax 4 in tax 4 wouldn't have been the way it was. Hence the importance of SWOT analysis. But well, all the same, you made a good presentation. My network is really acting up. My network is really acting up, but just have it in mind that the SWOT analysis is very important. Sorry, the internet is really acting up this. I just want you to know that the SWOT analysis is very important. You can't joke with it. While you took so many tasks in the school, they were geared towards you increasing your structure, getting more participants to grow the community. But the SWOT analysis helps you for the sustainability of the community. Without it, decisions will be taken that will go sour and could affect this community negatively. So please note that the SWOT analysis is very essential. So thank you once again for your presentation. That was good. I say congratulations to the 4 of you who could make it to the presentation. Your first day 7 task will be checked now. But I observed, I was trying to check it while the presentation was going on. There was no mention of the name of the school. Neither was there a mention of the batch number. So kindly get that done on your work. But all the same, thank you very much. Congratulations to you, and have a good night's rest.
Thank
So
you
good night,
for your
everyone.
presence. All right, thank you, madam, and good night to you.